Welcome to Future Focused, Priority One's interview series on the ideas and opportunities here in the Western Bay of Plenty. We chat to the creators, pioneering businesses and community leaders shaping our region into a thriving hub of growth and innovation. Join us as we take the pulse on Tauranga.
We have a special guest here today, Julian Fitter, the Chair of the Bay Conservation Alliance, to talk all things biodiversity. I am your host today, Marissa, Sustainability Lead at Priority One. At Priority One, we've joined forces with the Bay Conservation Alliance on the Partnering for Nature initiative. The project aims to highlight different ways businesses can invest in nature to help regenerate the biodiversity that is vital to the Bay of Plenty region. Julian, hello. For people who are new to the topic, can you explain biodiversity and its importance?
Yeah, well, biodiversity in its simplest form is all life on the planet. That's including pathogens and microbes, including invertebrates, birds, animals, plants, fungi, etc. So everything. And the important thing about New Zealand biodiversity is that something like 80% of it is endemic to New Zealand or found nowhere else in the world. And when it comes to the importance of biodiversity, every business is dependent upon nature. 55% of global GDP is dependent to a moderate or greater degree on the environment, on nature, figure of something like $58 trillion. So biodiversity, the environment is really, really important.
So how do these issues translate specifically to Tauranga Moana?
Tauranga Moana in particular is focused obviously around the harbour. One problem is land management in the region around the harbour, and that's obviously resulting in siltation. We've lost a lot of the mud flats, and which are place for kai and for wading birds. That's been taken over by mangroves, partly due to the siltation that's coming down the rivers. So that's a factor. But also, of course, the whole Bay of Plenty region is dependent upon biodiversity for its profit, for its, you know, what goes out of the port of Tauranga. There are logs, there's kiwi fruit, there's avocados. Those are all key items that are grown and in the Bay of Plenty region. So we really do depend very much upon a healthy environment to produce much of the wealth that the country has.
What are the risks of inaction in these areas?
Cost to New Zealand of pests in the year 2019-20 was $9.2 billion. Now that's, again, a significant amount of money. So we are spending a lot of money just keeping things steady, you might say, trying to do what we do.
So if we can improve the resilience of our environment, then we should see a reduced cost to the economy?
Yeah, absolutely. Not just a reduced cost, but actually a boost. It will boost New Zealand's economy by something like $270 billion over 50 years if we can put some effort into saving on our native species, because that's one of the problems we have. We have a very definite issue with a number of native species which are on the verge of extinction. They're threatened, and that if we don't work on that, and we don't work on protecting the environment, then those are sort of figures involved in all of this. They are remarkably big figures. They're not just a few million here and there. We're talking about billions of dollars here.
Yes. Very significant. I guess it's kind of highlighting the importance of doing a lot more in the biodiversity space, especially for our businesses. And you touched on species just then. So when you talk about species loss, what are some of the endangered species found in the Bay of Plenty region?
Well, the obvious ones, I suppose, are things like kiwi and kokako. And birds are very good because they're attractive, they're sexy, so people can identify with them. We can talk about Freddie as well. Freddie the frog, the Hofstede's frog, Papamoa Hills is found there. That's not as sexy as a kiwi or a kokako, you might say, but they're an important part of our environment. So we need to look at plants as well.
Importance of land management to biodiversity. I guess, for example, some of the importance of a healthy wetlands.
Yeah, I mean, wetlands are really important. Blue carbon, or carbon sequestered, especially in salt marshes, but also in wetlands, they were able to sequester more carbon than a tropical rainforest. They don't look like they're doing much, but they're growing and forming peat and that sort of thing, and peat essentially is sequestered carbon, you might say. And so that sort of thing is really important. We've lost something like 90% of our wetlands, turned most of them into sort of cattle pastures, which, you know, there's a certain certain amount is fine, but we've gone, I would say, a little bit too far. We need to start looking better at our land management areas. Some of this stuff should not be farmed at all. It should be reverted back into native bush, and that obviously will be beneficial on the carbon sequestering front as well.
It is great to see businesses taking action. The Rangiuru Business Park is a wetlands restoration project, partnering with Tapuika Iwi Trust. I think they've planted or are going to plant 400,000 trees, which is amazing. And I guess it's really important of thinking about how the environment and the economy connect together.
You know, the environment is important, and businesses should be making contributions towards looking after it. We all live in a world where we depend on the environment.
And our employees have children, and I'm sure they want to do it for the future of their kids too. So
yeah, they'll often find that actually the children often drive the parents. It is, yes.
So the Partnering with Nature launch event is on the 14th of November. What do you want to say to businesses who are thinking about coming along?
I would simply say this is the most important issue facing all of us, so I look forward to seeing you there.
Totally agree with you on that. And to wrap up, we have one quick-fire general question. Could you give us one word or phrase that sums up Tauranga Moana?
Gorgeous.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you've been inspired to learn more about Tauranga Moana's forward-thinking people and businesses. If sustainability, innovation and growth are important to you, visit our website and connect with us. We're bringing the prosperity and splendour of Tauranga Moana to the world.